If you're struggling to rekindle intimacy and connection with your husband after he cheated, you're in the right place. I'm sure it's been hard to find support around you to navigate this challenging time. Trying to save your marriage after your husband was unfaithful? It's not the popular choice. And I'm guessing most of your friends and family haven't exactly been supportive or helpful in your choice to fight for your marriage. But that's why I'm here. And today I'm going to share how to navigate your marriage after the affair in a way that will rebuild the love and intimacy you both miss. And stay tuned until the end, where I'll share the secret to fast-tracking emotional healing and fostering a deeper connection in your marriage. This helped my client Amy, who was so frustrated because she desperately wanted to forgive her husband after he showed genuine remorse for his infidelity. But every time they tried to be intimate, and I'm not just talking about sex, but any attempt to get close to her husband, images of the other woman came flashing up, and she couldn't help but pull away. Finally, after working together, she was able to find a sense of calm and peace within herself, which was crucial for rebuilding trust and intimacy. And the uncontrollable thoughts and self-doubt began to fade away, allowing her to regain control over her own mind. Now, she and her husband have been able to foster a deep connection between themselves. Arguments have become less frequent, and happiness has replaced the lingering resentment. And if we haven't met, I'm Sariah Bastian, and you are watching Beyond Breath TV, which is the place to be to overcome your husband's infidelity and get to a place of inner peace so you can finally breathe again. Each week, I post a new training on healing after infidelity, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified of future trainings. Now, before you can really learn how to reestablish intimacy in your marriage, there's something you need to understand. You're probably experiencing feelings of disconnect, mistrust, hurt, anger, and find yourself pulling away from your husband even when you tell yourself you want to be close. These are all completely normal responses, and here's why. When you experience infidelity in your marriage, it's a shock to the system, and that shock creates emotional trauma, very similar to a long-term brain injury or PTSD. Unfortunately, many women, like my client Amy, try to rationalize their way through the pain, which only leads to more confusion and resentment. Because emotional trauma isn't rational, it clouds your judgment and makes it impossible for any real progress to be made. So, how do we rebuild intimacy and connection after infidelity? Here's where you need to focus first. Your first step is to clear the emotional trauma from your body. After something as shocking as infidelity, trauma cells are born and circulate in your nervous system until you take the steps necessary to release them from your body. When these trauma cells are running the show, you'll experience symptoms like uncontrollable ruminating thoughts, out of character rage, and getting triggered the moment he touches you. It can feel impossible to get back to the way things were before the infidelity happened, because every time he tries to get close, your nervous system goes into overdrive, warning you that it's not safe. How can you possibly rebuild love and intimacy in a marriage from a state like this? You really can't. And that's why even after years of therapy, couples find themselves in just a shell of what their marriage used to be. It becomes permanently broken, but it's only because they didn't have the right tools to heal the emotional trauma first. By working through this trauma, you can start to feel a sense of calm and peace in your body, which is essential for rebuilding trust and intimacy. Another sign of emotional trauma running the show is if you're constantly doubting your own judgment and worth. Many women come to me and tell me they feel like they're going crazy because they can't turn off their brain. They can't stop overthinking, and every time they think they've made a firm decision on whether they want to stay or leave, they change their mind again. They tell me how they never used to be this indecisive and how they feel like they've lost their confidence. They're afraid to stay because what if he does it again? And then they only have themselves to blame. But they're also afraid to leave because they'd regret at least not trying to save their marriage. So they end up stuck in an endless loop of confusion and despair. The good news? All these things I just mentioned are symptoms of emotional trauma, and they can be healed in just a few short months. So if you've been feeling this way too, take a deep breath and know this isn't the new you. This is simply your nervous system trying to keep you safe, and you can take back control of your brain and body the minute you start focusing on releasing trauma. And once you've done this, you'll naturally be able to communicate more effectively with your husband, which will foster greater intimacy and love moving forward. Honest, empathetic, and open dialogues can help you both understand each other's feelings and expectations, paving a way for a deeper connection. Once you remove the walls, rage, resentment, and fear, healing your marriage becomes so much easier. There's less arguments, more true progress, more happiness, and less resentment. It's like getting a reset button for your marriage. These steps worked wonders for Amy, who was able to rebuild her marriage and find happiness again. And I believe they can work for you too. To guide you through these steps in more detail and help you heal from the emotional trauma of infidelity, I've created a free masterclass. It will provide you with actionable strategies to help you rebuild intimacy and connection in your marriage. The link to that masterclass is available in the show notes. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to check out my video on how to stop overthinking after your husband cheats, as this is another common barrier to reestablishing intimacy after infidelity.